Hey, what's up guys? So I wanted to make a couple of videos and explain where I'm at with my car, do a couple updates here, and maybe some of this info will help someone out along the way. So one of the things I've got accomplished here lately was the subframe bushings. I replaced all of them with an energy suspension kit that I got. So I'm just going to explain a little bit about how I did that kind of. So pretty much you just look under the car here. You got the frame under here, which you can see. The subframe unbolts from the car on these, and you'll notice right up here, get in there and see the shiny new stuff here. That's the rear bushing that I put in. So there's going to be two bushings on each side of the frame here. So I'm on the driver's side of the car. But essentially what I did is, if you're looking under here, you've got your main rocker panel here, and there's actually a pinch weld seam. So what I did was I just got the jack out and I jacked up the car from, I don't know, kind of back here a little ways. I just jacked the car up a ways and put a jack stand under here on the pinch weld. You don't want to jack up from the actual rocker because I don't know if you can see it. I did not do this, but someone ran over something, I guess, some point in time. But if you jack up from right here, you could dent this in. I don't know if you can see, this is kind of smashed in from something, but don't jack up from this part of the car. Use the pinch weld. That's a strong point, okay? And then, so I just put the jack stand there, and then I just rolled the jack under here, just kind of sort of in the middle area right here. And I just jacked it up to put just barely any pressure on the frame right here. And then I just went and I had to use a pretty gnarly breaker bar and a jack handle to get the old bolt loose. But you just take the old bolt loose there from the old original bushing, and then there's another bolt up here for the front bushing. So you can see if this is the firewall here. Got another bushing mount right here, and the bolts underneath here that you need to take out. So you just take those bolts out and everything. Should just come out. There'll be a bushing on this side too and everything. So just take both of the bolts out on this side, and then basically you can just from under here just lower the jack slowly, and this side of the frame over here will actually just kind of lower down a bit, and that'll let you pop the bushings out of the top part and everything, so you can put the new bushings in. Something to note though, are a couple things. If your car has a complete front end on it, then you got to be really careful about lowering down each side of the frame, because you can actually, it'll twist the front end, so your core support can tweak in your fenders and stuff, can maybe rub in your hood, or you can just cause some stuff to get messed up there. So you just got to be really careful about how far you're letting the frame drop away from the car when you're doing this. My car, the front end was all torn apart, so it didn't really matter much. But basically you just go through and do that on one side, use the jack stand, jack it up, lower the frame, put all the bushings and get the bolts started. I actually got the upper bushings in, and then I kind of jacked the frame back up against the car to get the bolts in. I don't really have the other bolts out here right now, but you can see where the bolt comes through right here in this nut here in the top part, and it just barely comes through. So the energy kit comes with all new hardware, but the bolts that came with the kit were not as long as the bolts I took out originally. So that was kind of a little bit of a hassle to get that started on these front ones. You have to, I think I actually had to lower the car back down on the passenger side, get all the weight on it so I can get that bolt to start in. But they do come all the way through the nut here, so I guess that's pretty strong and safe once all is said and done. And the last thing I would note is, so there's actually, there's four bushings on the back to hold the frame onto the car, and then you've got one on each side up here in the front for the core support. And each one has on the bottom part going up is sort of like a washer with a sleeve attached to it that goes through all the bushings. And each one of these mounting points has a different length and I think diameter of sleeve. So I kind of mixed those up when I initially did this, so I had to go back and change a couple. So if you just look at the in the direction sheet here, I'll kind of show you. if you can see this, so it says position 1, the washer sleeve. You notice this one has this is overall length. Position 2 has a larger one, and this one's a different size for position 3. So just pay attention when you're putting those in there, which one goes where, because I mixed them up. So hopefully that'll help someone with their subframe bushings. But I got those changed out and it seemed to work. And oh yeah, I don't know if you can see this real good, but it notes in there in the instructions if there's any body shims or anything to put those back. So on my front ones here, you'll notice there's this really thick washer right here on top of everything. So that was a factory shim of some kind. So I made sure to put that back in there where it was when I took everything apart. So that's pretty much it. So on to the next thing here, I guess.